Alright guys, welcome to my first Q&A. So starting off, I'm going to get right into this. Question 1 comes from Zinga AE. What do you like about AQ Worlds and when did you start playing it? What do I like? I love all the fancy gear. Theoretically I would like it more if like the stats played a bigger role, like the 6 different types of stats, but kind of don't. But I like those type of games where you gotta build your classes or build your sets, customize your appearance, stuff like that. And not to mention too, I do love farming. I really do enjoy the process of the farming grind. I love the grind. I just sit, listen to music, and get grinding. Here's another question that's pretty similar to the first one, so I thought I'd include it. Answered when did I start? Well, actually, when did I start? I think it was spring of 2011. Yeah, spring of 2011, so my account is around 6 years old. And do I play other games too? I do play other games. I used to play, well, first off, I'm not a very big PC gamer. Other than AQ Worlds, I really don't play much on the PC. I just lots of YouTube and stuff like that. But if I'm not doing AQ Worlds, I do play console games with like friends and stuff like that. So those in the past have been like Call of Duty. Recently, my friends are into Battlefield 1, so I'll sometimes play that with them. And my one true love on console is Grand Theft Auto. I love that game. So definitely some games out there I like playing. Ooh, another, so this is like question 1.5. What motivated you to start making videos about AQ Worlds? So, my channel is mostly just guides and tutorials for AQ Worlds. So when I kind of got more into like farming within this like past year, since my account is like a half-year old, and I was always kind of like confident about like what I knew and like what methods you should farm and stuff like that. And on YouTube, you guys probably experience this a lot too, that a lot of those content creators out there, they'll have like a few like good guides, and then some of their guides are just bad. Like, and I just thought, you know, in the AQ Worlds community, that kind of needed like a more consistent channel that posts consistently high quality guides and stuff like that. So that was my intention, and that's still my intention now, so hopefully we stay on that path. Question 2. Did you ever think about quitting AQ Worlds? Yep, all the time. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because even though this game does have frequent updates, the updates are relatively small. So once you farm something, like after 6 years of playing, I've gotten to the point in the last few years, like year or two, 1 or 2 years, that every so often I'll farm back up basically everything, and then I have nothing to farm. So whenever you don't have anything to farm, it's hard to play AQ Worlds. So there have been times where I don't play as much and go on like long week or months breaks, but I always do come back. Aiden asks, what was your first impressive item to obtain in AQ Worlds and Nulgath or Legion? So I'll answer it as if it's a two-part question. So I'll answer both a Nulgath item and a Legion type item. So Nulgath, I farmed the Reavers of Nulgath back when the level cap was level 40. And back then you were a god if you had 1 or 2 Juggernaut items, so that was very impressive. At least I thought it was pretty impressive. And then Legion, after I got the Reavers of Nulgath, I farmed all of Dage's 1% weapon drops from those Legion exercise quests, and I thought that was very impressive, especially considering Legion Exercise 4, when it first came out, it required Elder's Blood, which was a daily item. So gotten like those quests over like those like 3 1% drops from that quest over like a year or two, I was very proud that I was able to get not only just the ones from that quest, but all the 1% drops. Question 4, Hunter, he asks, what is the hardest item you farmed in AQ Worlds, and what motivated you to start farming? Hardest item is definitely the Necrotic Sword of Doom. I have a hard time believing that there will ever be another item that's harder than that. I mean, that thing is god awful. God awful to farm. What motivated me? I don't know. I kind of found out that I just liked the grind, you know, grinding for items and stuff like that. So for me, it kind of just, you know, came naturally as I found out I liked it. So yeah, I don't know. Just kind of saw some stuff I liked and started farming, and I turned out to like it, so I kept farming. Do you regret farming any items? No, I don't really have that many regrets. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the Necrotic Sword I did. That thing is such a freaking waste of time. You already get... I mean, it's basically no good, considering that the Seppi armor is 50% damage against humans, and Necrotic Sword of Doom is 51. So it's like 1% more, but you farm like 2 or 3 months to get it. So it essentially was just a giant waste of time. Stefan asks, would you like more items to use Rowan Geniums or avoid auras for more quests in the future? It's a good question, and it's one of those half and half questions. As long as the quantity isn't too high, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, there have been like some void auras in the last few like Nulgath like quests and stuff like that, so it's good to see like more uses for that region. And as for the Rowan Genium too, as long as the quantity isn't too high, so yeah. Yep. Question 7. Why was Miltonius removed and changed to Nulgath? Zenith here, he answered it pretty well. He did make some NSFW work. I won't go into it, but considering that AE, most of their games are meant for younger audiences, it wasn't a good thing for AE's reputation to be tarnished by having somebody who was making the content that Miltonius was. So they had, and this is in quotations, had to let him go. But it wasn't on bad terms, because Artix and Miltonius are pretty good friends. But because they don't want to be associated anymore, that's why they had to change the name from Miltonius to Nulgath. So hopefully that satisfies that. What PC specs do I have? I have a i7 processor, 4500 CPU. It's a dual core, so it's like 1.8 gigahertz. And then once the dual core kicks in, it's 2.4 gigahertz. I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. And is there anything else worth noting? It's a touch screen. That's pretty cool, right? So yeah, it's pretty solid. I mean, you really don't need anything really like higher than that. Like anybody who has all those like fancy like computers and they like use it to like play games and stuff like that, you really don't need that. You really don't. Like if you have just a super powerful computer, you're rarely going to be using it for what it's built or what it's capable to do. It's kind of like driving around a giant truck, but you just use it to commute to work. Like it's basically a waste. So I'm pretty satisfied with mine, with my computer. That's all I need. Sandcat asks, what country do you live in? I'm from the USA. Yee boy. Next question from Jamsteel. He asks, will you ever do videos with your webcam and your mic? I've done a few with my mic, but as far as webcam goes, I did say that I do like my privacy before, but the reason why I haven't used the webcam is mostly because the channel that I've made so far, this channel it's dedicated to guides and tutorials. It's not, you know, like gameplay, so I think it's just more beneficial to have like the full screen displayed. That way you guys can see what I'm clicking on, what I'm doing. That way you can accurately follow the step by step to maximize your efficiency when you're farming. And that's really been the goal and will be the goal of this channel. Put out some consistently high quality guides for you guys to follow and use. And the last question, server rewrite. The $1 million question. The golden question. Yeah, I hope it comes out soon. They've been saying that they're so close to a while. So close to finishing for a while, but you really never know. They started doing the rewrite in 2015, early 2015. By the end of 2015, they said they were 80% done. So what does that mean? That means in all of 2016 and so far in 2017 that they've only done like 20% or something like that. So either your roomie is slacking, or you could say that the argument is that maybe he's been helping them out with like AQ3D, so he's been kind of, you know, flip-flopping between prioritizing the two different games, or I honestly have no idea. I have no idea. But, you know, we can just hope that it comes out soon, and we're just gonna have to find out the hard way, because I guess, you know, other than the devs, none of us know. But I think it is very reasonable, though, to expect that the class could come out sometime around the Monster Hunter class's release. I don't know where I found the confirmation for it, but one of the developers did say that they weren't going to be releasing any more classes until the server rewrite. So hopefully I can find you guys that tweet, but if not, that's what I heard. So hopefully you guys found this video enjoyable and helpful. I will see you all later. Peace.